Hey everyone, it's Anna with Slant. Today we're excited to show you our new client review tracker within Slant and how you can also use workflows to help automate your review processes. So before I dive into the new feature, which is that reviews tab, I just want to show you the first thing you'll want to set up, which is your review cadence within settings. So if you hit your company name in the top left corner and go to account settings over here, then you'll click on Agents on the left-hand side, and here you can set up the frequency that you meet with clients. So if you do rolling reviews, you'll select that. If you do all clients at the same frequency, you can just keep this selected and choose your review frequency. If you do different frequencies for different tiers of clients, you can deselect that option and select different frequencies based on your tiers. If you do surge reviews, then you'll just select the second option and then select the specific months that you do your reviews. And then just make sure once you've made your changes that you save those changes there. Once you set your review frequency, you'll want to head over to the Reviews tab on the left-hand side. So you'll make sure clients are selected and hit Reviews. And this is going to bring you to the review tracker in Slant. There's some different columns and things you can add here and mess around with. But what this is going to do is give you a clear view of when your last review meeting was with a client, when they should be due for a next review meeting, and if you've already scheduled a review with them. So last review meeting, by default, we will go through the calendar, and if we see an event on your calendar with that client's email attached and it has the word review in the title, we will automatically set that date for you for the client. However, you might have other meetings with the client that don't have the word review that still count as a review meeting, and you're able to go in manually and log those. And so if you click into any of these fields for a client, we'll show all the past meetings that you've had with a client, and you could easily say, yep, this meeting right here actually was a review, not a check-in. And if you select that meeting, you'll see it's updated there as well. Based on when your last review meeting was and when your review cadence is, we'll set a next review date. So because this client is set on an annual review cadence and I just selected January 9th as the last meeting, it's now saying this client should be due for a meeting a year from then. You'll see, for example, if you ever need to manually override one of these cadences, so this individual is on a monthly cadence, because the last time I met with them was October 31st, they're actually going to be due a month from now. This next review meeting, we will again go through your calendar and see if there's an upcoming meeting with the word review in there. Again, if there's not, you can always go in here and see what meetings you've got on the calendar and set one of them as a review meeting, and it will update there as well. You can always, of course, also go in and manually, if you don't have a meeting with the individual, manually log reviews or manually log when those meetings should happen. Once you get that setup going, there's some really good views that you can do to help automate the process. So there are filters up here so that you can see where overdue reviews are, upcoming reviews are, things like that. We recommend creating a few different saved views to help with those processes. So for example, you might create a filter that shows any reviews due in this quarter, and the next review meeting is not scheduled. That would filter down to those clients that have a review due in the next quarter, but you still need to schedule them for. You might also have an upcoming review tab where you show just anyone that has a next review meeting scheduled for this month. Or you might also have an overdue review tab where you simply show anyone that has an overdue review over here in this column. Now, this already helps a lot with client reviews, but we did add some further automations within workflows so that if you want to further automate the process, you can do that. So if you head to workflows here, I have pre-built an example of how you might set up a workflow automation for client reviews. So we do have a client review reminder trigger. This will trigger X days before the review is due, and you'll be able to select how many weeks or months before that due date you want to take action and you want this workflow to trigger. You can also add further conditions if you want to segment even further who is included in this workflow. So right now I've set it up that 2 weeks before a client has their due date on a client review, these things are going to happen. Now I have branched out this workflow and set different conditions so that different actions will happen based on if there is a meeting scheduled or not. So I've added a branch action, and in the first condition, I put if meeting is not scheduled, and I added the condition, the next review meeting is not scheduled. So if the review, 2 weeks before they're due for a review, and there is no review meeting scheduled, then I want to send an email, and I've written this email that says, hey, we're overdue, let's chat and connect. However, if it's 2 weeks before they're due for review and they do have a review meeting scheduled, maybe I just want to create a task for myself to prepare for that client review meeting and have it be due in 2 weeks when that review is happening. So there's a lot that you can do to customize your review here. You can add multiple actions. You could do nothing if the review meeting is scheduled. You even don't even have to branch logic, and you might even just, hey, 2 weeks before someone is due for their annual review, add all of those people to an annual review project. So we hope that helps automate your review process for clients. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out and we're always happy to help. Thanks.